Hello friends, I'm back. It's been 1 month on YouTube. I have managed to upload 2 videos every week on average, although some weeks there's been like 3 and some weeks there's only been 1. So I think I need to work on getting maybe like a bank of videos so that I can just schedule them for regular uploads so that there is 2 a week. I think I probably need to figure out what days are best to post, so if you've got any suggestions on that front, I would love to hear it. And I just thought, since I've been on YouTube for a month, I would give you a little update on where I'm at, what's happened, and how I've been doing, I guess. So I have got my laptop here with my data from YouTube. So let's dive in and have a look. I'm not sure what's going to be the most interesting things that you're going to want to know. So I'm just going to kind of go through everything and see how we get on. Okay. So in January, I had 1.4 thousand views across all of my videos, but I will say most of that was made up by a short that I posted where we had the snow, the waist deep snow, and I was trying to get to the shop to see if I could make it to get some bread and milk. So actual video views, not nearly so many as that. There was 769 of those views were the short. So you can kind of do the maths and say about 600 and something of the views were actual videos rather than being the short. So, you know, I'm taking that as a win because I had no views when I started this. I had no subscribers. I was starting from a cold start. I knew nothing about YouTube. I knew nothing about editing. I knew nothing about filming videos. I've still got a long way to go, but I've learned some stuff. So massive win. I'm taking that as a huge win. My watch time hours was 25.9 hours, which I think is pretty good because the short was only about a minute long. So even if you took off for the short, that's still pretty good in watch time hours. And over the whole month, I gained 12 subscribers, which for saying I don't know what I'm doing, to the 12 of you who've subscribed, thank you very, 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 very much because that's amazing. I did get obsessed with my statistics and I was checking them every day. And at one point I was up to 14 subscribers. So we've kind of gone up and down a few times through the month, but we've settled on 12 and 12 is a good number. I am very happy with 12. That seems great. So my top video in the month of January was the first video that I posted, which was called Can I Make Money on YouTube? And was literally me just sitting here and whittering at the camera saying, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to give it a try. And that got 244 views. My next biggest video was, I think, the next video that I actually posted, which was Easy Sourdough, where I tried to bake sourdough in our kitchen. The loaf turned out fine. I tried a spelt loaf because my husband's on the FODMAP diet. It did not turn out so well. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. It needs a bit more work. But it was difficult to film it because the kids were interrupting, and I don't know if I want to put my children on the internet. So I'm still thinking about that. If you've got any opinions, I'd love to hear them because they're quite little. If they were older, like if they were teenagers and I gave them a choice, I think it would be a lot easier. But, you know, I'm at the point where I would still have to make that decision for them. And I don't know is the bottom line. So it wasn't the easiest video to film, but I got 227 views, so that was pretty good. The next popular video was called Top Baby Board Books, and I literally pulled out the board books that my kids have chewed, tried to destroy, thrown at each other, and generally just loved and wanted read on repeat. So that got 118 views. And then I tried a couple of decluttering videos, and they are long form, live-ish, well, I mean, not live, but, you know, real time, probably a better way to describe it. They were both over an hour long, decluttering videos of just me wandering about the house, decluttering things and tidying and organising. And I love watching decluttering videos. I don't think I'm potentially the best at making them, but the first one that I posted, which was Hang Fire, it was in my daughter's bedroom, it got 13 views. And then I posted a rainy snow day activities for kids. It got 6 views. Eco swaps, got 5 views, and Books for Big Emotions with Children got only 1 view. So, you know, I'm learning. I think the thing is, all of this is information about what the audience on YouTube want to see and what I like making. So I really enjoy making the decluttering videos because I'm kind of doing that anyway. But they haven't done well on YouTube. So either I need to come at it from a different angle, or I need to move on and try and find something different. I quite enjoyed making the videos about the kids stuff, and I feel like I've got a finite amount of things that I want to say about kids stuff while my kids are this age. So I may carry on making some of these kids videos just because, if nothing else, for me in the future to look back on, it's quite nice to see, you know, because I forget things. It's quite nice to see what the things that they were actually really into at the different stages were. So maybe when I become a grandma one day, not anytime soon, my kids are little, then I can look back and be like, oh, my kids really enjoyed this book, I'm going to get it for my grandkids. Assuming it's, you know, still PC and all the rest of it, because some of the books that my mum kept from when we were little, I'm not sure I'll read them to my children. I have filmed a couple more baking videos. I've done sourdough. Again, I've done, what have I done? Oh, kids' banana muffins with no sugar and something else, ginger cake. So I filmed them differently. I filmed them so that I'm going to do them with a voiceover. So they're literally just like a bird's eye view of the mixing bowl and then me doing the stuff, because that way I didn't have to figure out how to edit out the children in the background and the noise and everything else. And I thought I'll just do them like this and then I'll add in the voiceover afterwards. So they're about halfway edited. So they'll be coming up soon. And we'll just see if that works. It's a learning curve, trying to figure out camera angles, how to work a camera. And then the editing software, it's been a whole other ball game, let me tell you. So I have also had some comments this month, which was amazing, because I have been a lurker on YouTube for years, and I didn't think anybody was ever going to comment on my videos, especially at this point. So I had some really lovely comments, encouragement. And when I've asked for feedback on the Can I Make Money on YouTube, what video should I make video, somebody suggested book reviews, which is why I did the kids' book reviews. I think they probably meant adult book reviews, but to be totally honest, I do read, but I cannot remember the plot of a book by the time I finished it, because if you have small children, you will know that you are constantly like running from one end of the house to the other, from one activity to another, and doing things. And then by the time you have finished doing that, you read for 5 minutes till you fall asleep, and a book might take months. And you know, it is what it is. As they get older, I'm sure I'll be able to do adult book reviews if people want them. I don't know if you want my opinion on books. We'll see. It has been, fitting the filming in around life has been interesting, because, as I say, I'm not sure I want the kids on camera. I don't mind them being in the background and things, but I don't know that I want them on camera. We've also this month been hit with, we've had 2 of our family have had ear infections. Somebody has had the vomiting bug. 2 of my children have had croup. My husband has changed jobs and now works for himself, so that's been a huge change in our lives. We had the week of snow, so we had a week where the children should have been at school, but we were homeschooling, so that was, I mean, I'm not a teacher, and God bless teachers, I could not do that. I only had 3 children in the house, and I was ready for a glass of wine by 2:30 in the afternoon. So how you do it with a class of like 25 to 30 for, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, could not do it. Hats off to you. You are incredible people. You should have a massive pay rise and all the benefits and luxuries in the world. Like, thank you very much, teachers. And we've got the plague now. If you can't tell, I am full of the cold because one of my delightful children brought the cold home and shared it to all of us, because sharing is caring. So we are full of plague. So it's been a month. Oh, and the car broke down as well. So it's been a month. Let's put it that way. I don't know. Maybe I mean, somebody suggested to me doing a day in a life, but I just kind of feel like my life is quite boring. So I don't know if anyone would actually be interested in seeing that. So my plan going forward now, oh, hang on. I also Think Media did a free YouTube sprint workshop thing. It was a few live Zoom calls. It felt quite salesy, I'm not going to lie, but it was free. And I thought, well, I'm learning, so I better do it. So I hopped on those Zoom calls and it was very American and very salesy, but I did learn some things. So I learned that the average YouTuber quits after 22 uploads. So now, because I am super competitive, I am planning to get to 23 uploads minimum because I do not want to be average. And that people get disheartened really quickly by not having huge numbers of views straight away. That I need to, having listened to their stuff, I think I need to work on my hook at the start of a video because I just start chatting. Clearly that's not working for me because when you look at my actual clicks versus watch time, a lot of people are clicking the video, but they're only getting about 30 seconds in. So I need to figure that out. So suggestions and tips, highly, highly sought after. Please send them to me. It was hard to understand what they were saying. So they were, on the one hand, they were like raw, unedited footage. People really want that because it's not AI generated and it's not, they know it's real. They know it's a real connection to a real person. So they're saying this on one hand, and on the other hand, they were like, your video needs to be properly edited. You've got to have good lighting. You need to, it needs to be properly set up so that you look professional and people can hear you and look at you and what have you. So conflicting messages, I felt. But I'm taking some things forward, like that I need to figure out what my actual niche is. And the information that they gave about certain niches are more profitable than others was really useful. However, the profitable niches, I really don't know much about. So scuppered from that point of view. How else have we tried to make money this month on YouTube? We have signed up for the Amazon Associates program. So I signed up for the UK and for America. Because it turns out, didn't know this, learning a lot of things, you have to sign up to pay tax in the country that you're affiliated to. So I was like, okay, well, I already pay tax in the UK, so doing my tax return, fine, I know what I'm doing with that. Let's try one other country, and looking at where people were watching the videos from, the US seems to be the next biggest. So we signed up for the program from there. Now, if you don't have an audience of a certain amount, you had to sign up. You couldn't sign up as a YouTube person. It was very complicated. Google it and read it for yourself because as I say, I've slept since then. I can't remember the ins and outs, but I had to do a website and then link a load of stuff on the website. And then once they decided that I could have the links, and it took time, it took a few weeks to get through it, then I could start posting the links on YouTube. So I started posting the links on YouTube. Lo and behold, somebody from the UK, some wonderful, wonderful person who I wish I could give you a hug, clicked on one of my links and went shopping on Amazon. And it was the best day ever when I got an email from Amazon, and this person's spent, I don't know how much on Amazon on random things, and I get 22p commission. 22p, it's 22p, but it's my first ever commission. It's the first thing I've ever earned from doing this, and that is incredible. I can't tell you, I'm so excited by that. So huge positive. And now I'm officially affiliated, so you have to sell somebody has to buy 3 products to Amazon from your link within 6 months. So the UK, we are sorted now. The US, nobody's clicked my link and shopped yet, but we've only been doing this for a few weeks, so we've got plenty of time. But how amazing would it be to be properly affiliated in the US as well? That would just be incredible. I've also got validated on YouTube. So YouTube wouldn't let me add these links in until I had a certain number of views, and I did some validation and blah, 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 blah. So I've done all the back end stuff for that. So that's been amazing. And what else? We've invested in some kit. So I already had a couple of lights because I had a photography hobby a few years ago, which I'll be honest, very much hobby, very much not good. but I'd bought a couple of cheap photography lights off of Amazon. So we had a couple of lights because it is Scotland in January. I've got the big light on in here, but I've still got 3 lights staring at me as well. And I think I'm well lit now. And the curtain's open, but it's so dull. In fact, it was on the news on Friday that Aberdeenshire hasn't seen the sun in 15 days, which is a new record. And I'm going to say we didn't see the sun over the weekend either. So we must now be at 17 or 18 days. So we haven't actually seen the sun for coming up on 3 weeks. So we've invested in a microphone, which you can see here. It's very nice. It magnets on. It's got a little oofa doofa that plugs into the back of my phone. I'm just filming on my phone. And it is what it is. It's got a little hairy friend that goes over the top of it. So if I'm filming the decluttering and I'm moving around, or if I want to film outside, it cuts down the wind noise, I think. But it's a very, I mean, it's fine. No issues. I could talk more about it in a different video if you were interested. I am not technologically gifted at all, so plug and play is my favourite thing. What else did we invest in? I got a ring light. I'm literally filming on it right now. I bought a tripod ring light so that I had somewhere to actually prop my phone up while I was filming, rather than just being on a pile of stuff. So, and it's got a light behind it, so, you know, ring light obviously, so that I didn't have to get the other photography lights out all the time if I could get away with it. But actually probably it'll be fine in the summer, but in the winter I probably still need the lights. The ring light stand was about £20-ish on Amazon. Can't remember. Quite like it. I'm going to play with it a bit more before I recommend it because I've only had it for a couple of weeks. Other thing I have done is paid for a subscription to CapCut. So editing. I tried 5 different editing programs, I think. Yeah, I've tried a lot. I've watched a lot of videos about it. Still finding editing challenging, as you can probably tell. CapCut is definitely the best program I've found, or at least it suits the way my brain works the best. It's got a lot of like AI features, but it's got a little button so you can transcribe the video and then literally go through it and clip out pauses, or you can clip out things that you maybe didn't mean to say. Makes it a lot quicker than actually trying to go through and, you know, clip through the what are they called? See, you're still learning. The picture bit, you know, the picture bit that runs along the bottom. So there. I've learned how to zoom in, which was simultaneously easier and harder than I thought, using the editing software and not just, you know, because I just set the phone up and just filmed and then I needed to zoom in on something. So I've learned zooming. Definitely not the most finessed zooming that you've ever seen in your life, but I am learning. And for saying I'm somebody who looks at a computer and they break, I think that's quite good. I am learning about thumbnails. From that Think Media training, they said thumbnails without words on them do better, and also thumbnails that are brighter, so take it from 100% brightness and boost it up to like 105, 10, 20% brightness, and they seem to perform better. So you may have noticed my thumbnails look a little bit bleached. They are kind of wild, but I'm trying it, so we'll see how it goes. I might go back to putting words on like I did with the first one because it performed the best out of all of them and did not have extra brightness and all the rest of it. So we're trying it, we're seeing what happens. Let me know what you think about the thumbnails. I think they look really bleached out, but hey ho. I'm trying to do that 1% better thing with every video. So particularly with the CapCut, the editing has been a huge learning curve, and I pretty much sit, you know, if I need to do something with it, like I had to blur out the faces of my kids in one video, so I would sit with like a video tutorial, play 30 seconds, pause it, go and do what they said, play the next 30 seconds, pause it, go do what they said, and see if I could figure it out. So it's good. I like CapCut. I'm learning it. I have a long way to go with the editing, I will be honest, but we'll get there. So that is my roundup of what I've learned on YouTube in a month. My plan going forward is I need to figure out my niche, so I'm going to keep making different styles of videos for the next month and different genres, I guess. So as I say, we've got some like overhead shot ones with voiceover. I'm going to do another declutter and see how that goes. I feel like they might be just a slow burn, but it's stuff I'm doing anyway. So what's the harm in having the camera out when I'm doing it and then just sticking it up? Because they take very little editing compared to everything else. So probably will carry on doing them for the next month just to see how that goes, if there is a slow burn. Because the good thing about them is, because they're over an hour long, if somebody were to watch them the whole way through, which, you know, that is a slog, like, power to you if you can watch me for an hour waffle about decluttering my house. It really does bump up my watch time hours, and to get monetization, which is the goal of doing this right now, just to see if I can do it, I need 4,000 watch time hours and 1,000 subscribers. So a long way to go, but it's a start, and you know, you've got to start somewhere. So it's all good. So yeah, so the plan is to just keep making videos and see what I like making, what I like editing, what people like watching, most importantly. Well, it's been a month of ups and downs in life, but YouTube has been generally really positive, and I am looking forward to seeing what February brings, and we'll see where we're at the end of February. I'll check in with you again then. I would love it if you would like, subscribe, hype, comment, all the things. And I will catch you in the next one. Thanks.